There's been a recent rash of prank calls to fast food establishments across the nation. In multiple states, the caller identifies themselves as the fire department and convinces the employees to bust out all the windows so the building doesn't explode under pressure. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage has occurred. I wish this story wasn't real. It's real. In one case, the manager was so ambitious, he got his car and he drove it through the wall of the building. When he looks for his next job, I think he ought to consider demolition. Deception. It's not always negative. I'm here to change your perception of deception. I'm a professor at the University of Alabama. I've been studying deception for over 10 years. I've worked with the FBI. I'm decent at it myself. I teach a class to college students on lying and deception. The most difficult thing about teaching that class, they're college students. They're experts. Deception is defined as the intentional act to mislead without prior notification. The liar must know that they're telling a falsehood and not lead on the truth to their target. The recipient of the lie must want to know the truth and be unaware that it's taking place. A positive deception you may have experienced is when you were a little kid, you played baseball or maybe softball or volleyball, soccer, and your parents, they told you that you were good. And that motivated you, and you kept trying and you kept practicing and you had a positive attitude, and you may not have been good. And some of you are thinking right now, I sucked at baseball? Another form of deception that's positive is magic. The magician makes an intentional act to mislead with notification and the audience consent. Let me introduce to you world-renowned magician, mentalist, and communicator, Curt Anderson.
I am a professional magician. If I don't deceive you, I will let you down. If I do deceive you, you like me better for it. Deception can be positive. We're all required to know a magic trick with a deck of cards. I'm going to get that out of the way right now. Would like a volunteer to come up. If you could come up and help me right now, thank you very much. What I want you to do is I want you to take the cards. I want you to cut the cards for me. Excellent. Take this half and put it on there sideways so it makes a cross. Or if we were in the public university where the professor teaches, it would be an X. What I want you to do now, I want you to take a look at the card that you cut to. Don't show me. Just pick it up and take a look at it. You can show the camera, a couple other people, but don't let me see. Once you have, remember the card, put the cards back together and shuffle them. And just let me know when you're finished. It sounds like you've played cards before. You ready? Yep. Perfect. So you cut the cards, you looked at it, you shuffled them back together. There's no way I can know what card you cut to or where it's at now, right? I'm going to look through here and try to find your card. Okay. Let me try it this way. I'll bet you $1 the next card I turn over is your card. Would you take that bet? No? You're smart. Most people would, because I'm holding this card and she thinks I'm going to turn this card over, but I'm not. I'm going to reach down here and turn the card that you looked at. Was that your card? Very good. You can have a seat. Thank you. Most people are deceived by that because I tell you it's a card trick. It's not. It's a bet. You see your card drop through here. I pull this card. I say, I'll bet you $1. The next card I turn over is your card. You assume it's this card. It's not. It's this card. We had someone who listens to their TED Talks because she didn't fool for my deception.
Internet trolls, Nigerian princes, scam scandals, your relationships, maybe even your romantic partner. They all rely on misdirection to deceive you. While you're looking at something over here, a red herring, they're pulling a con over here. Don't take the bait.
Piece of rope, something everyone's familiar with. I do a trick in my show where I cut the rope and I put it back together. It's pretty common. Most of you have probably seen a variation of that trick before. I also do this trick where I take two steel rings, I link them together, then unlink them. This is a TED Talk. I want to be creative. I want to think of something different. I really couldn't think of anything that you haven't seen, so I thought I'd analyze the rope for you. A rope comes with a beginning, a middle, and an end. If I do any trick with a rope, it has to involve the beginning and the end in some form or fashion. But if I didn't want to use the beginning and the end, I could simply remove those, and then I could do a ring trick. Now the problem with that is I don't know any trick with just one ring. So I'll tell you, if you're going to do something with a rope, you can take the beginning and the end off, but it's probably better if you just wrap them around each other. Don't leave them like that for too long because they could fall off. Keep them as far away from each other as possible, and you'll be safe. You'll never end up with a ring if you want to use a rope. Ropes, cards, these are things you're familiar with. That's my job, is to deceive you, and I do it by using your life's experiences against you. I remember the first time I ever made someone float. I did a birthday party for several little girls and their families. After I was talking to the girls, I said, watch, I make the girl float in the air. And I passed the hula hoop over, put her back down, she went back to her seat, and I was discussing this with the kids. I said, what'd you think of that when I made the girl float? And they said, well, that was stupid. It's my best trick. What do you mean that's stupid? They said, we like the trick where you did the coloring book, and you colored it, and then it was all colored all by itself. We can't even stay in the lines, and your book got colored in 2 seconds, and you never went on lines. I said, okay, but why is it stupid that I made the girl float? They said, the one little girl raised her hand. She said, well, I've got a bird in my backyard. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why is it stupid I made the girl float if you got a bird in your backyard? She said, the bird, it can walk around. Mary Beth, she can walk around. The bird can fly all day. She flew for like 2 seconds. That was stupid.
Everyone gets deceived. Anyone can be conned, especially you. These people use your life experiences, your confidence, and your knowledge against you. Sometimes the more confident you are, the better you are at being deceived. Sometimes the more you know, the worse off you'll become. We're going to show you a street con. Imagine you're at a gas station and you're pumping gas.
Hey, excuse me. It's my mom's birthday tomorrow, and I was going to send her 21s, but it's going to require an extra stamp. I've only got one. Do you happen to have a 20 I could buy from you?
Oh, sure.
Oh, this is perfect. All right, here you go. Thank you so much. So make her day. All right, hey, I appreciate it.
Hey, wait, hold on. There's only 19 here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I counted it.
Okay, I got a one in my car. I'll be right back. By the time he realizes I'm not coming back, I'm gone with my 19 ones and his 20.
Nobody wants to be a mark.
All right, I need one more volunteer. I'm going to try something for you that's very real. I've been training with the world's strongest man, pound for pound. Sir, would you come up and help me for just a second? Grand Master of Strength. And I've been working very hard at this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you take either one of these decks. I've got 2 brand new decks of cards. Whichever one you take, you get to use. Whichever one you leave, I will use. So go ahead and pick a deck. Excellent. I'll take this one. I want you to take your cards out of the pack for me. And you can hand me the jokers. I'm going to set mine down right here for now. If you hand me the jokers, you'll have 52 cards. What I want you to do is I want you to take your cards and I want you to tear them in half. No, not cut them, but actually tear them in half. Right. Not going to happen? So you've never tried that before. We'll make it easier for you. The cards are in order. Peel off the spades and the hearts. You can look at them, and then you can just use the spades and hearts or the clubs and diamonds, and that way you can do half a deck. So that's 26. So there's spades. Yeah, there you go. If you go right to the clubs there, get the hearts. Here we go. Right there, there's 26 cards. Try those. I will take my 52 plus the joker's 54. I will tear mine in half as you tear your 26 in half.
Okay, go for it.
54 cards. Oh, thank you very much. And so you haven't got those yet? You practice with those. If you don't get them, take these with you. Tell everybody you tore these in half. Appreciate it. Your own little deception. I asked Dennis to teach me tearing the cards in half so I could learn this. solid steel frying pan. I saw a dentist do this live in a show, and I said, that is incredible. He said, I could teach you to do that. I said, there's no way. He said, you have to learn a few other things first. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a solid steel pan, I'm going to roll it up like a magazine using my bare hands. I now have a hot dog cooker.
April Ludgate from Parks and Recreation, she said, I only tell the truth when it makes me look like I'm lying. They say, trust me. They say, I'm going to be honest with you. The liar that got caught in the lie, they now want to come clean and tell you the truth. The deathbed confession for that long, lifelong deception. Should we trust them? Do we believe them now? The mic trick that I pulled on you at the beginning of the show, was it real? Curt told you that the card tear and the pan roll up was real. Was it? Wasn't it?
Hey, hold on now. We know deception can be negative. That's how most people think of it. I think we've shown that deception can be positive. If it's not inherently negative and it's not inherently positive, what is deception?
Deception is effective communication, Curt. It's how you use it. It can be positive in some of the examples we've shown here, and it can be negative. It's a tool.
So if you're at work and somebody says, oh, we love your work, but they're promoting everybody else, and you realize that your work is good, but it's not good enough, and it pushes you to be better, it can be positive. But if you see a quick buck to be made and you get fooled by a con, then it's negative. Is that right?
Yeah. Deception is negative or positive based on what you do. Do you tell lies? Are you ethical? Do you fall victim to your own ego and needs and desires and wants?
One of the things I found as a magician, the easiest way for someone to be fooled is to truly believe they can't be fooled.
The more confident they are, the more likely they are to be deceived.
It's kind of like my dad used to tell me. He said, Curt, don't be the rat that came for free lunch and became one.
Interesting, because the second rat gets the cheese.
Deception. What are you going to do with it? Thank you.